America is a country of immigrants, and that includes your food. Immigration is the pulse of our nation, the heartbeat that drives almost all of our culture. It's in our language, our music, our customs, and especially on our plates. In Americanize Me, we're getting a taste of our melting pot, salad bowl, or whatever your preferred metaphor. When it comes to Thanksgiving, most Americans are used to a storyline that isn't entirely true. So that's why today we're bringing you to Plymouth, Massachusetts, where it all began. And in this season finale of Americanize Me, we're going to dig into the truth behind the holiday and discover how American your Thanksgiving meal actually is.
You want the true story? That's what you're saying?
The true story. We want the truth.
True story.
And it goes a little something like this. In 1621, the Pilgrims in New England had their first successful harvest, and their governor, William Bradford, called for a celebration. At the time, the colony had some Native American allies, including the Wampanoag tribe chief, Massasoit. During the celebration, guns were fired, and Massasoit got word. He thought there was a fight going on, and him and about 90 of his men came to help. Instead, they found the Pilgrims rejoicing about their harvest.
There isn't a ton of food there, so Massasoit sends 5 of his warriors out, and they bring back 5 deer. So we know that they had venison, and we know that they had fowl. What type of fowl, we don't know. And we know that they had fresh vegetables. And that's what we really know about Thanksgiving. It happened for 3 days, and it never ever happened again. And it was probably not in November, because you're not harvesting anything in November.
Nobody mentions turkey involved with Thanksgiving in 1621. The meal we call Thanksgiving, they don't call Thanksgiving. And Massasoit sends his men out to bring back deer. So venison is the meat we know that's on the table, and everything else is speculation. I was once accused of being a turkey denier. And I said, no, I'm not saying there aren't turkeys. I'm just saying, as a historian, I can't put them on the table.
Now, if you think of American food as a timeline of foods traveling here with immigrants, then some of the foods that we eat at Thanksgiving are at the very beginning of that timeline.
Many of them are foods that don't belong here, that were brought here, and the foods that were here cooked in ways that would be unrecognizable to both the English and the native people of 1621 Plymouth colony. You know, what's more American than apple pie? And actually I would contend nothing is more American than apple pie, because apples aren't indigenous here. Apples were brought over.
Apples are not American.
Apples are not American. Pumpkin pie, not even around that much in the 17th century. Not probably on anybody's table in most of the 17th century in Plymouth.
Why do you personally think Thanksgiving is such an important American holiday?
I think it's the one day of the year, it's the one holiday that Americans celebrate by actually celebrating.
We are thankful for our home and our happy meal.
And there are many common components. We take time out to spend with family, and it's a common meal. Something like 98% of households have turkey on their table on that Thursday in November.
And in this case, a Thanksgiving meal brought together me, a colonial expert, and a native person. Talk about shaking up history. What would you want Americans today to know when they're eating Thanksgiving dinner? And what to just think about when it comes to the history of what is on their plate?
There's no one right Thanksgiving dinner. What's right about it is that we pause and give thanks. We forget that we're a colonial nation. There were people here for thousands of years before there were colonies, right. And we need to remember them too. Yeah. And they've been a forgotten part of the story for a long time.
What about the natives in your community today? Do most of them celebrate, or they don't?
I think you're going to find a 50-50. People certainly get together, like the UNIE protest. And then some people probably do a turkey dinner. So as Native people, you know, we ask people not to dress in our traditional clothing. If you want to honor us, learn about us.
One of the ways we can honor Native people is to recognize the food that we got from Native people. I'm looking at the corn on the table. Pumpkins, the same thing. Cranberries, the same thing. These are all Native foods that were here, particularly in New England, right from the beginning.
This has been Americanize Me. For Newsy, I'm Nora Tagore, and hope to share more meals with you soon.